Hello, everyone. I am back. Average Joe, the Average Geek, here to start giving you once again my Orville reviews for all of us hillbillies of the galaxy. Welcome back to my channel. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek. Thank you for coming back and enjoying my videos. I really do appreciate it. It's been a hiatus, but here I am, new and improved. Let's do this. Got good stuff coming this season. Season 2 of The Orville just premiered, and it was a wonderful episode. The title of the episode was Jaloja, or as I like to call it, Bortus Takes a Piss. It's an interesting concept of the Mocklin race having only urinate once a year, and apparently it's like a birthday celebration for them, a celebration of new beginnings where the stress of the past is relieved in the great release on their home world. It was a very interesting kind of concept. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that in science fiction again. A species that celebrates the act of urination. It's kind of funny to me. But that wasn't what this episode was about. What ultimately this episode was about was getting reacquainted with our crew members, spending time with them, letting us know where they're at in their headspace, which is great. We get a lot of great interplay between a bunch of different characters. First and foremost, obviously the captain Ed Mercer and his first officer Kelly. It's and where they are at in their relationship. Ed is still hopelessly in love with Kelly, and she has moved on and dating the ship's teacher, middle school teacher, it seems, which is a very interesting kind of play. Definitely wildly different than the adventurous space captain that she was married to before. And obviously Ed has to adapt and cope with this. And this is a very it's a very nice way of getting inside the captain's headspace and seeing these characters play off of one another. And he does some dumb things as men and people tend to do. The so-called drive-by incident when he takes a shuttle out and parks it right outside her cabin to see who she's dating. A little creepy, but what you gonna do, right? That was excellent stuff. Then of course you've got Gordon striking out with women. You know, we see the new lieutenant, the dark matter cartographer. I can't remember her name right now, but a very interesting thing is that it's the same actress that plays Talea, who is the krill that Ed Mercer and crew murdered all of her crew last season. So I've got some theories about that. I'm kind of interested to see what that character turns into. I, for one, am expecting her to actually be Talea in disguise and will betray the Orville crew. I'm calling it now. I'm probably right on that. I'm usually right about such things. It's going to be interesting to see where that progresses. But it was nice seeing him get some advice from his buddy and the jacket of mini zippers and such. Fun little character interplay there. Which leads into Alara and Dan. Dan is one of the funniest characters in the show. I hope we don't use him too much. Because his humor is it's funny, but it could probably get overused pretty quickly. So I'm hoping that he's, sparingly used throughout the season so we can get the laughs up pretty strong on his scenes with Alara and everyone else for that matter. It seems like love is in the air in this episode of The Orville. We get some really interesting stuff between the Doctor and Isaac. Isaac, in many ways, is now a surrogate father figure for the Doctor's children, which is definitely interesting, and it's a wonderful follow-up to last season when he was responsible for saving their lives. It's nice to see that he still has that bond with that family, and there's definitely some a little Data Tasha Yar action going down between the Doc and Isaac. I wonder if it will turn romantic. That would definitely be an interesting kind of character piece there between Isaac and the Doc. I think there's definitely a possibility there, at least on her end. It'd be interesting to see how Isaac reciprocates. Unlike Data, he doesn't have the drive to be more human, just to kind of understand humanity. It kind of makes you wonder if he is fully functional and programmed in multiple techniques. But I'm interested to see where that goes. So some very fun character moments there as well. And that's ultimately what this episode was about. Was just small little character vignettes. How setting up the emotional arcs for these characters. At the end of the episode, we see the new dark matter cartographer saddling up beside Ed for a drink at the bar. Definitely setting up that possibility of a romantic interest there. Of course, like I said earlier, I think she's going to betray the crew. I think she is Talea of the crew commander. But we'll see. We'll see. All in all, this was a wonderful episode. It's a lot of fun. There's not a lot, no action, no high flying special effects, nothing crazy, but it was good. One of the things that Gene Roddenberry with Star Trek was very adamant about is that there would be no conflict amongst the crew in his Star Trek, which ultimately means all conflict has to come from external sources. The Orville's not doing that. The Orville is letting these characters play off of one another and the conflict and drama that comes with these tight-knit people working together in a tin can floating through the deep recesses of space. So it leaves for some very interesting interplay and definitely some good character studies. Good solid episode. Good solid episode. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't the best episode of the series has to offer, but it was solid. I give it a straight solid B. Good stuff. A couple of notes. It looks like the model they use, because they do use a full-size physical model of the Orville, may have gotten a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of more detail orientation in certain areas of the ship. It looks like Alara may have had yet another makeup revision from the first episode of the first season to the second episode of the first season. There was a big difference in her makeup. It seems like they may have made yet another revision, a very small revision, but I could be entirely wrong about that, but that's what it seemed like to me. Good stuff. Good stuff. Like I said, nothing amazing, but it was definitely solid. It's a good way of getting back with these characters, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. So we don't got a full week. It's just going to be on Thursday. So good stuff. Well, that was my review of the Orville. Now let's kind of talk about the channel. I will be back after each episode of the Orville this season with another one of these reviews and discussions. I'm hoping to have more Orville videos as well on my channel. They were big hits last year when we did these. I'm hoping that we can get the audience back. I want to thank you for sticking around through my hiatus. I had a lot of things going down. I got promoted at work, so that's been the vast majority of my time is there. But everything's evened out now. I'm able to come back and start doing this more and more. So thank you for sticking around. Thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.